Director of Children's Defense Fund Ohio. The Children's Defense Fund is a nonprofit child advocacy organization dedicated to giving children a voice. Children cannot vote, lobby, or speak for themselves. For over 30 years, we have worked to lift children out of poverty and put them on a path to successful adulthood. Please allow me to introduce our speakers this morning. With me, Representative Brian Smith from the 93rd District and Executive Director Ron Reese from the Corporation for Ohio Appalachian Development. The Children's Defense Fund has had a long commitment to the Appalachian region. We began our investigation into Appalachian Ohio with our 2001 report, Ohio's Appalachian Children, which provided a first ever comprehensive look at the well-being of the children in the region. We are pleased today, 15 years later, to share with you Ohio's Appalachian Children at a crossroads, a roadmap for action. The region continues, unfortunately, to suffer many of the problems we saw in 2001. Poverty, health disparities, pervasive food insecurity, to name a few. And our world has changed in the passing years. Our digital and interconnected way of life has further isolated many of the communities in the region. Over 50% of Appalachian households do not have access to the FCC benchmark of 25 megabits per second in download broadband access. Now, I know that there is much focus on the region today because of the tragedy in Pike County. And as both a mother and a child advocate, my heart mourns for the family members that were lost and the children that were sadly left behind, very young children. And many individuals for the first time are asking about Appalachia. Well, allow me to share what we found. We found that the region's shared values of hard work, close-knit families, and personal relationships are ones that we should celebrate. Appalachian people take great pride in helping one another and are eager to prepare for the future. Even when resource poor, we have found great ingenuity and pockets of collaboration that we look to expand to reach more children. You'll see these gems in the report. They're called promising practices. To leverage these regional assets, we would like to talk to you a little bit about our partners. And they're here today. Battelle for Kids, the Foundation for Appalachian Ohio, and the Corporation for Appalachian Development. We knew that we needed to partner with folks who work and live in the region and who care deeply about the children and its future. Now let me provide you with a brief overview of our report. There's about 500,000 children that live in the region. 1 in 6 Ohio children call themselves from the region, Appalachian. Unfortunately, the children in the region are still waiting for the economic recovery. Within Ohio, the top 12 counties with the highest child poverty rate are found in the region, with the highest county at Pike at 36%. Unemployment is still high in the region. In 2001, when we did our first report, we found about 9 counties of 32 had unemployment higher than 7%. Today, it's more than half. 18 out of 32 counties have unemployment that hovers higher than 7%. But there's some good news. The teen birth rate after the 15 years has dropped by 40%. Our infant mortality rate, though, in the region is still high, and it's similar to Ohio. We lose about 8 babies before their first birthday in the region per 1,000 births. Now, we have alarming increases in the number of babies born exposed to opiates. We have in the region about 15 babies, with counties down in the south with even higher numbers. Scioto with 76 babies of 1,000 births, Lawrence at 67, and Pike at 58, born exposed to opiates. Now, we know the research is clear. Early childhood education is critical for a child's future educational success. And we know it's an economic necessity for parents that need to work. But we have too few slots in the region. Here you'll see we have 14 counties in the region with no early Head Start services and 3.8 children per space for early childhood education and care. When we look at primary and secondary education, our children in Appalachia do well. They meet the third grade reading guarantee about 98%. But we find after in primary and secondary education, our children need more remediation. We all know health is the foundation of child well-being. But we found that preventative access and emergency care is difficult in the region. There's not a children's hospital in the region. And there are shortages of pediatricians, mental health providers, and dentists. We have children in the region who hope that there will be food on the table at mealtime. We have 1 in 4 children that are food insecure. They do not have consistent access to food. There are 8 counties this summer and that have had no summer feeding sites. So as we look to the children going into the summer, we need to make sure that they have food when schools close. And there are food deserts like Vinton County that do not have a grocery store. We also looked at private investments, and we found that the rest of Ohio has about 10 times the amount of capital invested in their citizens. And we know philanthropic capital, along with public and private investment, is essential for economic and educational success in the path to adulthood that's bright. So what do we do about all this? Well, we and our partners have key policy recommendations and a roadmap for action. I've highlighted a few here. For the babies that are born, we know that the maternal opiate medical support program has proven success in populaces in the region and outside for infant mortality. Why don't we bring that to those crisis counties like Scioto and Lawrence? And on food insecurity, I congratulate Governor Kasich for, in 2014, his focus on summer feeding and using the delivery as an important piece of getting food to children. And that was an executive order he signed in 2014. Now you'll see these action steps on that 2-pager that's on our website and here today. And I encourage you to look at them because we know with the right public and private partnerships, we can seize the opportunities in the region and surmount the challenges. Representative Smith?